Greetings, everybody. I want to do a little video about how we could improve our lives. One of the things we spend the most amount of time on in our lives doing is sleeping. We spend a third of our life approximately sleeping. Hopefully, that is if you're healthy. So I want to do a little video right here on how we can improve our sleep. Every day is a great time to get in some good habits right now as we have extra time. Most of us not having to go into work or everything's different, so we're spending more time at home. So this is a great opportunity for you to implement some new habits into your life, some new routines that you then can continue using once stuff gets back to normal, and hopefully they will help improve your sleep, which will then help improve your life. So I got some notes here. I have 12 different official habits or ways that we could improve our sleep, the quality and the quantity as well. So number one would be to avoid caffeine, alcohol, or nicotine, or any other chemicals that have stimulants in them. We know that coffee is a stimulant because of the caffeine in it. It keeps you awake. There's also caffeine in coffee, tea, chocolate, pop, some pain relievers as well. So we want to try to stay away from those, especially 4 to 6 hours before bedtime. So whatever time you're planning to go to sleep, make sure you don't have that cup of coffee, or if it's caffeinated tea or something, make sure we're not having that within a 4 to 6 window of when we want to go to sleep. Also, if you're a smoker, there's also there's also caffeine and nicotine. So try to refrain from using that as well close to bedtime. With alcohol, a lot of people, they might like it because they say, well, it helps me get drowsy and sleepy and helps me fall asleep. Well, it might do that, but then once you're asleep, it's more of a stimulant. So it increases the number of times you awake during the night, and the quality of your sleep is hindered significantly. So it's best to limit alcohol drinks to 1 or 2 a day or less, and then avoid drinking within 3 hours of your bedtime, any type of alcohol. The second tip would be to turn your bedroom into a sleeping environment only. So a quiet, dark, cool environment will help promote better slumber. To achieve that environment, we could lower the volume of outside noise around us. You could have blackout curtains. I know because of my midnight schedule, I always have blackout curtains because I sleep during the middle of the day. Try to have soundproof stuff so it's quieter. I have like a white noise little machine here. You could have an app for that to promote white noise, or have a fan going or something. So that normally will help drown out sound so it's not dead quiet. You want a cooler environment as far as temperature. We want about 60 to 65 degrees, which is pretty chilly, with lots of blankets. Obviously, we want to make sure the room is well ventilated. So again, the fan could have double purpose there. It could be ventilating the room and then also having that white noise from the fan. And then you want to make sure you have a comfortable mattress and pillows. On average, a normal mattress wears out every 10 years is when you're supposed to get a new mattress. So that would be something you want to look into. Also, if you have a pet that regularly wakes you, might want to look into making sure that pet stays outside of your room so that you don't have to worry about that. Also, you want to limit your bedroom activities to pretty much just sleep. You want to try to keep computers, TVs, any work materials, you want to keep it out of your bedroom so that your mind is only associated when I walk into my bedroom with sleeping and resting. So if you have a TV in your room, you don't want to sit in bed and lay and watch TV before you go to sleep, even if it's the news or something. Even if it's like something soothing or something on TV or Netflix, you don't want to watch that because your brain is still being stimulated by paying attention. Having your phone is the worst thing you could do, looking at your phone, whether it's Pinterest or Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, any of the other apps, even just texting people, communicating. Your brain is wired to communicate and focus on the conversation you're having, or look at the screen that you're focusing on, and then your brain is going now. So then to be spending half hour, 20 minutes, even if it's 5-10 minutes texting or looking at something online, my work schedule for the next day or something, and then just turning it off and then hoping my brain switches off and fall asleep within the next 10, 15 minutes isn't going to work that well. So you want to make sure that you turn all that stuff off, get it done before you step in the bedroom. So then you could just turn Wi-Fi off, turn the data off. So as soon as you go into your bedroom, my whole life is done and I'm just ready to focus on rest and sleeping. The third tip would be to establish a soothing sleep routine. Pre-sleep routine, so right before you go to bed. So we want to ease the transition from being awake to sleeping with a period of relaxing about an hour or so before bed. Good one would be to take a bath, because the rise and then the fall in body temperature helps promote drowsiness. You could read a book, meditate, pray, practice breathing or something. We want to avoid stressful or stimulating activities, any type of work, emotional issues, stressful relationships with communication. We want to avoid all of that. We physically and psychologically want to kind of soften everything around us. We don't want our body to secrete any of the stress hormones, which then cause more alertness and to be awake. If you have any extra thoughts that are stuck in your head, write them down, leave them outside of the room. Our room is only our sleep environment, no stress allowed. So get that out of your head, and that should be within an hour before going to bed. We want to try to get all that stuff done so we could help wind down for when we want to rest. Number 4, we want to go to sleep when we're truly tired. Struggling to fall asleep just leads to frustration. So if you're not asleep after 20 minutes, get out of bed, go to another room, try to do something relaxing, which I'll talk about more, like reading or listening to soft music until you're tired enough. Don't look at your phone. Don't go back online, see who's up, who's awake. If I want to chat with somebody, we don't want to start that cycle again, because then we'll be more alert. So we want to try to do something calming, something that doesn't stimulate our brain. And then maybe we just fall asleep on the couch or in a chair or something. That's better than just staying awake for the lying in our bed. The fifth thing, don't be a nighttime clock watcher. So staring at your clock in your bedroom when you're trying to fall asleep, or if you wake up in the middle of the night, can increase stress. Like I said, the stress will then have more alertness, which makes it harder to sleep. So if you wake up in the middle of the night, can't get back to sleep in about 20 minutes, get up, engage in a quiet, restful activity, reading or listening to soft music. Make sure you keep the lights dim. Bright light will then stimulate your internal clock, and then we're back awake, which is what we don't want to do. 6.1, we can use light to our advantage. So natural light keeps our internal clock on a healthy sleep-wake cycle. So let in the natural light first thing in the morning, and if you're in the office or stuck in the middle of the day and you start feeling drowsy, try to go for like a sun break. Go to a window, stare outside, step outside if you can, if the weather's nice, and your body will feel like it should be more awake because it's the middle of the day. This one it was the worst for me working midnight, especially during the summer, because it's so bright. So I would get done working midnights and be driving home and the sun's just blasting in my face. Go home, and even with blackout curtains and everything, my room is super dark. It was super sunny the time I step outside and before I go to bed. So I felt like I wasn't supposed to be sleeping because it was the middle of the day and the sun was out. So that is a big thing. You could use light to your advantage. The 7th one, we could keep our internal clock set with a consistent sleep schedule. So when I was in high school, I would always, you stay up, Friday night, you don't have to get up early. You can sleep in Saturday, and you can probably sleep in Sunday as well before church. So Friday nights and Saturday nights, I would always stay up late. If I went to bed in high school at like 11, 11:30, then Friday and Saturday, I would stay up to 1, 2, or 3, just watching TV or video games or whatever. And then I would get to Sunday night, and then I would try to go back to sleep at a regular time, like 11, 11:30. And then I wouldn't be able to fall asleep till like 1 or 2 because I was staying awake the last couple of days. So keeping on a regular schedule will prevent that Monday hangover kind of from the weekend. So try to stay within an hour or so of your bedtime. If you're staying up later, maybe stay up no more than an hour later than you normally would. But sleeping in, 3 or 4 hours later than you normally do, or staying up 3 or 4 hours later than you normally would, that'll affect your sleep for the following night. So try to stay into a pretty good rhythm and cycle. Another tip, we want to nap early or don't nap at all. So many people make naps a regular part of their day. However, for those who find falling asleep or staying asleep through the night problematic, afternoon napping may be one of the culprits. This is because late day naps decrease sleep drive. So if you must nap, keep it short, 30 to 60 minutes, and try to keep it before 5 p.m. I've heard about caffeine naps, like a coffee nap, where they'll drink a cup of coffee or half a cup of coffee, and then they'll nap. And then by the time the caffeine's in their system, they're naturally ready to go and awake, because normally it takes about 20 minutes to a half hour to get in your system, and that's a good time for a power nap. So that's I've read about that. Might want to look that up if you're curious about that, because that's pretty interesting. Number 9, lighten up on evening meals. So a lot of times if you eat heavy, I know it's kind of like with alcohol. After we drink alcohol, we feel drowsy and sleepy when we fall asleep, but then the quality isn't good, and we want good quality with the quantity. It's the same thing with eating heavy. So Thanksgiving, we stuff our face, we feel full and bloated, and okay, now I want a nap. I want a nap because I feel sleepy and relaxed because of all the food I ate. I just want to nap. So, okay, maybe I want to eat all the time, so then I'm sleepy and then I fall asleep. We don't want to do that, because while you're sleeping, your body is still digesting all that food. Your body is awake, doing everything to get that food into nourishment and use it for your body. So we don't want to eat heavy before bedtime. We want to finish dinner several hours beforehand. And if you're still hungry, maybe have a small snack beforehand, so you're not waking up in the middle of the night hungry, but we want to try to get in a nice cycle with that as well. We got 3 more to go. We want to make sure we balance fluid intake. So we want to drink enough fluid at night to keep from waking up thirsty, but not so much that you have to get up and you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So a good thing that I do is once it's about dinner time, I won't go to the bathroom until right before bed. So if it's like 6 or 7, I won't if you go to the bathroom and then, an hour later I got to go to bed, you probably won't have to go to the bathroom. But if you drank water or had fluids earlier, then you're going to have to wake up in the middle of the night. So if you just don't go to the bathroom for a few hours before bed and then do right before bed, you'll be fine. You won't have to get up. We got 2 more. Exercise early. So exercise helps you fall asleep faster and sleep more soundly because your body's been tired. You've been putting it through the ringer, and now you need rest, so it's ready for rest. However, when you exercise, we secrete the stress hormone cortisol, which helps activate the alerting mechanism in our brain. So now we're wired and we're going and our body's going. And if you try to fall asleep, then you're not going to be able to. So try to finish exercising at least 3 hours before bed, or just work out a lot earlier in the day. So it's something that I never did. I always work out late at night, which isn't good. A lot of these things I don't do, but that doesn't mean they're not good tips. All right, last one. This is my favorite one. End on a productive note. So a lot of times it's easier to sleep when you aren't stressed and you have positive feelings, emotions. You feel secure, you feel safe, you're ready to go to sleep. It's a lot easier to sleep when you're not stressed. We all know that when we have stress, stuff going on in our lives, stuff on our mind, we just got in a fight with somebody, whatever troubles we're having, it's a lot harder to fall asleep and then also stay asleep. And so ending the day on a positive note is a great way to get that good feeling and then be ready to be calm and fall asleep. So trying to be productive right before you go to bed is a great way to get into that feeling. And it could be something super small. It could be, I made lunch for myself or my spouse or my kids or my family or something for the next day. I did lunches. I just finished that. That's a productive thing that I did. I'm happy with that and I'm done. Or you finish the laundry, or there's something, maybe you lightly cleaned a room, or you picked out your outfit for the next day, or things that you normally push off towards the morning, you got set. You got the coffee set for the morning, or your snacks, or you got different things written down for the day. So doing those things beforehand, before you go to bed, you're going to feel like you accomplished something, which you did, and then you're going to have that good sense of